Hi everyone, it's been a while since my last video, so I thought I'd do a new one as we hit the business end of the 18-19 season. So yeah, obviously Liverpool involved in a very interesting and very exciting title run-in. So thought I'd go through that first. Um, Liverpool currently on 82 points. Man City on 80. Tends to switch depending on who's played the last game. So obviously Liverpool have played a game more, but I thought I'll quickly go through the fixtures remaining, and obviously we can work out from there who is most likely to come away on top. All starts tomorrow, really. Back-to-back games for the pair of them. Man City travel to Crystal Palace. Obviously, an upset earlier in the season. Palace going to the Etihad and winning with that incredible Andros Townsend goal. Probably going to be the goal of the season. But yeah, I can't really see them beating them again. Lightning striking twice. I think Man City probably going to come away with all 3 points tomorrow. So pressure is back on to Liverpool, who follow that game with a home match against Chelsea. Obviously, that infamous slip from Gerrard against Chelsea at a similar point of the season, a few years back, cost Liverpool the title that season. Hopefully, as Klopp has said in the news this week, Liverpool, this current crop, create their own history, and hopefully don't drop any points whatsoever. I think realistically, as probably all Liverpool fans agree, to have any chance of winning the league, Liverpool are going to have to win all their remaining Premier League matches. Obviously, starting on Sunday. So, yeah, it's going to be a tricky game. Chelsea out of the title race, but very much in that top four mix. And will want to get something from the match for sure. So, I expect a strong Chelsea side to trouble us, but hope and pray Liverpool will come out of that one unscathed with 3 points to go back to the top of the Premier League, at least for this weekend. Obviously, both clubs still involved in the Champions League as well, which will obviously be a factor in the run-in, depending on who goes the furthest. Liverpool obviously got that good lead going into next week over Porto, 2-0 up from the first leg. I'll talk more about that later on. So, yeah, next weekend you're looking at Manchester City hosting Tottenham. Obviously going to be very used to seeing each other playing three games against each other in a very short period of time. As Man City are at home, I really think they are going to win that game as well. Even if Spurs do manage to hold out in the Champions League, I think Man City will win that game. So up to 86 points for City there. Liverpool, in comparison, travel to Cardiff. Look like they're probably going to be down after today's results, with Burnley and Southampton both winning theirs. Brighton, probably the only team that they are realistically going to catch. But yeah, I would hope Liverpool can go to Cardiff and get all 3 points in that one as well to maintain their lead. Slim might it be. Obviously, City have a game in hand coming up, but one of their games after the Spurs match is away to Manchester United. Probably their most difficult game left this season in the league, and I can see that one being a draw, or I can at least hope that would be a draw. City on to 87 points compared to Liverpool's 88. So yeah, that's hopefully when Liverpool are going to be outright top of the league. After that, 3 games each. City City travel to Burnley, host Leicester, and travel to Brighton on the last game of the season. 3 out of 3 wins there. Leicester, probably the strongest of the three, have been on a decent run, winning 4 of their last 5. Liverpool host Huddersfield, travel to Newcastle, and host Wolves on that all important pivotal last day. So again, I think they're going to win all 3 of those. Wolves at home have taken some scalps this season, some major scalps, but on the road, they've lost a few dodgy games, Huddersfield being one. I can't see them troubling Liverpool if that Premier League title is within touching distance. So, yeah, obviously City also have that FA Cup final on the horizon as well. And as I say, both clubs could potentially be in the semi-finals of the Champions League. So lots of ups and downs, lots of changes on that top of the leaderboard, but I hope Liverpool will come out on top by that solitary point. Obviously, yeah, I mentioned the Champions League. Quickly talk about that a little bit more. Obviously, Liverpool 2-0 winners against Porto in the week. Keita opening the scoring and Firmino making it 2. Looked like they might run away with it after the first half an hour. Porto decided to kind of shut up shop, if you will, and take that back to the Dragao, see if they can make a comeback. But I would think that was the minimum I really wanted, the 2-0 win. No goals conceded, and if we do nick an away goal, which I fancy us to, it's a long way back for Porto, needing 4. So yeah, I think Liverpool are gonna go through in that one. I'd be incredibly disheartened and shocked if they were to crash out this season against Porto. On the other hand, on this side of the draw, you've got United versus Barcelona. Liverpool United Champions League semi-final would be something special, but unfortunately, I think Barcelona are just about going to nick that one, having to basically cantered to that 1-0 away win this week at Old Trafford. Obviously, United have pulled off miracles in the past. PSG comes to mind, but Barcelona are a different animal. Not at their amazing best, I'd say, lately, although they are running away with their own league and have rested quite a lot of players this weekend. But no, I think Barcelona will comfortably progress, if I'm honest. So, Liverpool-Barcelona semi-final beckons. Wow, it's been a while since we've played them in a competitive game. 2007, I think, might have been the last one when we went through on the away goals rule on our way to the final in Athens. But yeah, I think we've played them pre-season, last season, and beat them 4-0 at Wembley in the International Champions Cup. But obviously, it's very difficult to judge that based on it being a friendly, different players coming back from different times, different fitness levels, the league starting at different times. So, yeah, cannot call that one at all. It's going to be a cracking game. If Messi turns up, you make them favourites. If our front three turn up, I think we've got a great shout against Barcelona's defence, which does not look as strong as it has done in previous years. So looking forward to hopefully seeing that one. Yeah, moving on, just a quick kind of rundown through the main players we've had this season featuring in the team. Alisson, obviously in goal, his first full season in the team has been unbelievable. Obviously, he's made a few errors here and there, but not as costly as Karius's ones, and we've tended to have won the games anyway that he's made the mistakes in. So, not majorly important. He's made some unbelievable saves. His distribution is incredible. He's created goals, and he's looking like he's going to win the Golden Glove in the Premier League as well, which we've not won for a good while. I think Pepe Reina being the last one to do that. So, yeah, big tick in the box from him. Andy Robertson, his first real full season as established Liverpool left back. I think last season he came into the team around Christmas time. Moreno starting majorly from August due to, I think, the birth of his child, Robertson. But yeah, really good to see him, properly establish himself in the team. Nine assists from left back, incredible. Being made the captain of Scotland as well, so just shows how he's come on from his days in Hull. Alexander on the right, obviously the opposite side to Robertson. Again, incredible season off that first season he had in the team last year. The wing backs that we have, that partnership is the best wing back partnership I think in world football right now. I would not swap either of them for anyone else. Crossing those balls, sometimes setting up each other. So yeah, keep that going. Obviously, big Virgil van Dijk. He's a colossus, isn't he? He does not let anybody through. My player of the season, probably going to be the player's player of the season in the Premier League, and rightly so. Hopefully, he gets a Premier League trophy to add to that gong. But yeah, he's been unbelievable, and again, I would not swap him right now. I think he's the best centre back on the planet. So more than happy for him to obviously remain. Personally, I'd give him the captain's armband as well for the start of next season. He's just different class. Oozes confidence, improves everybody around him. Basically, is a captain anyway. The way he speaks and on the pitch. But yeah, I think really it's a bit of the Hoopier Gerrard syndrome, where we know we've got someone coming through that is just technically a better choice than we currently have as a captain, and is not going to be rotated as Henderson has been in this season. And obviously Milner as well, not getting any younger. I think it's time to make Van Dijk the first choice captain. It's been this way for a while, but the partner next to Van Dijk has always been an issue. Gomez started off the season on fire next to Van Dijk. Brick wall they were together. I think, honestly, we would be still 5-6 points clear in the league if Gomez hadn't got injured. Obviously Matip slash Lovren have kind of played in his absence. Neither have convinced once more. Lovren is a liability, and Matip has made some errors which have led to goals and looks a bit all over the place at times. So yeah, I think both of those two, the quicker we get Gomez back, obviously at the business end of the season, hopefully we can make that final push and at least get one of the trophies, if not both. Who knows? Obviously moving on into midfield, where we've got the most competition. I mentioned Jordan Henderson briefly. He has been very good this season, a lot better than usual. Obviously playing a lot in that kind of defensive midfield role, switching up with Fabinho, and lately playing in a bit more of an advanced role, and has looked good, to be fair. Obviously in that Southampton game last Friday, looked like we were going to struggle to a draw, and Henderson and Milner came on and really changed the game. Henderson picking up a goal, collector's item, but yeah, he's a good player, and I would keep him in the squad. Probably not in the first 11 for the big games, but for sure, good squad player. As I say, Milner, probably coming to the end now. This is probably going to be his last season next season. I think his contract's up and he will be 34. I'd be surprised if he stayed beyond that. He may decide to hang up his boots. He may decide to move to somewhere like Leeds, where it all began, if they do get back into the Premier League, which looks likely. But I'd wish him all the best. He's been a fantastic servant, a free agent when we signed him. So yeah, top draw, and still does a job, left back, right back, centre midfield. So yeah, very happy with him. Naby Keita, really underwhelming up until recently. Has come into the team now, played a couple of games in a row and scored a couple of goals. So hopefully now kicks on and, really earns his sort of starting berth in some of these bigger games in the run-in. So I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more of him. Fabinho, I mean, my unsung hero of the season. He is absolute class. He's basically Van Dijk in midfield. He's just so calm on the ball. He's got energy. He's up and down. He makes tackles. He intercepts. He wins headers. He's fantastic. He got a good assist against Mane. A good assist for Mane in a recent game as well. So yeah, I think Fabinho is absolute class, and I would start him in that defensive midfield position in all the big games. I'm not sure why he was dropped against Bayern away. He obviously came on due to an injury to Henderson, and we looked so much better. So nothing against Henderson, but Fabinho is a better player in that role. And I think we're a worse team when Fabinho's not there. Alongside him, Gini Wijnaldum, I would play again in all the big games. Has dipped a bit recently because he's just played so much. He's looking a bit jaded, but I think now he's had that rest. He should come back into the team very soon. He's just got so much energy, so much strength, up and down all day long, does not stop running for the cause, presses. Really a Klopp player, and has got that good link up with Van Dijk, with that Dutch connection. But yeah, I really like Gini in the team. And obviously we get to the front three. Not as prolific as last season, which was never really going to happen. Obviously, we've kind of changed how we play, focusing a bit more on defence and clean sheets rather than outscoring opponents. So yeah, I think that's we're a better team overall, and obviously the goals were going to suffer if we were going to stop conceding as many goals as well. So Firmino hasn't scored as many as I'd have thought, but he's still assists and work rate, pressing, defending. He's everywhere. He is so good, and is that perfect false nine for this Liverpool team. Salah, obviously, he's still got 18 goals, so apparently he's having a bad season. But yeah, he did go about eight or so games without scoring a goal until that fantastic solo effort against Southampton. Contrast, Sadio Mane is probably in the form of his life, probably having the best season of his career. 17 goals, I believe. Yeah, I think he scored 11 goals in 11 games recently. So he's absolutely on fire. And yeah, he's just a perfect Liverpool player. That front three still kicking on. But yeah, I'm happy with all of those. Obviously, a few mentions as well for these. Joe Gomez, I've mentioned briefly. Can't wait to see him back in the team because alongside Van Dijk, he is class. Oxlade-Chamberlain, I'm hoping will feature before the end of the season. Obviously, we've missed him badly. He's yet to feature in any game. But yeah, if we can get him back, even for the last 3-4 games of the season, I think he'll be a big boost. Yeah, and I'm hoping to see him back in the team, fully fit and firing from the start of next season. So that will be like a new signing for us. One last person to mention is Nathaniel Klein. Head scratching when he went out on loan to Bournemouth. Bearing in mind he's our only actual backup fullback in the squad. Obviously Milner's a kind of deputised left back, right back, emergency. But yeah, I was shocked when Klein was allowed to leave, leaving us really short. As Alex Arnold has had some injury problems since the turn of the year, but hopefully he'll be back in the squad next season and can be rotated a bit more and be given a bit more of a chance. Still only 26, 27. He'll want to get back in that England squad as well. So be a shame if he was to be moved on, but I would like to see him back in the team. Anyway, moving on to the kits. Very recent news. Liverpool have been linked with a new Nike record kit deal from the start of the 2020-21 season. Very exciting. Obviously, we've had New Balance for, I think, since 2015, and Warrior before that, which were obviously part of New Balance as well. I've always been a big fan, to be fair, of the New Balance home shirts. The away shirts leave a lot to be desired, a bit jazzy, a little bit out there, but the home shirts have been fantastic. I think the last two Liverpool shirts have been the best-selling Liverpool shirts of all time. Obviously, that's due to the recent success as well, but yeah, proper nice shirts. I like the darker red as well. But yeah, Nike. We've had Reebok, Adidas, as I say, Warrior, New Balance recently. But yeah, Nike seem to be the mentioned ones for the next deal. Hopefully to rival United's £85 million deal that they have, as obviously Liverpool believe now with some big name players in the squad and the recent success, they can command a bigger fee in terms of sponsorship. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one come through. Some nice tracksuits and training gear on the way if we do tend to go to Nike, and yeah, hopefully some nice home, away, and third shirts as well. So that is looking promising. Moving on to sort of looking beyond the end of the season, i.e. the summer. Transfer targets. I had a little look on Sky Bet, and I've made a note of everybody that is linked or has odds to join Liverpool. So just a quick rundown of those. I've just kind of gone through who I think would be good, who wouldn't, who's likely, and who's not. So yeah, first one on there is a big one. Eden Hazard is the name. 16-1 with Sky Bet. Can't really see that one happening. Obviously, Real Madrid are strongly linked with him. I can't see him wanting to stay in the Premier League and play against Chelsea. So yeah, I think that one's all but done to Real Madrid in the summer. So that's going to be a no on that one. The next two are youngsters and very possible. Sancho from Dortmund is 10-1 with Sky Bet. Obviously, he has a great season with Dortmund this season. Knocked out the Champions League by Spurs, but yeah, he's had a great season in the Bundesliga. Obviously, English, still in his teens, I believe. Breaking into that England squad and now England team as well. So yeah, I think Sancho would be a great signing for Liverpool as a backup or a rotation with that front three. So I would like to see that happen, and I think realistically, the fee would not be incredibly high. Obviously, they've sold Pulisic to Chelsea. But yeah, I think Sancho 60, 70, probably around that kind of figure could get him. The other one, De Ligt from Ajax, he's 12-1. He's been incredible for Ajax on their fantastic run to the Champions League quarterfinals. Obviously, he's broken his way into the Dutch team. His partnering Van Dijk at the centre of that Holland defence is incredible. I think he's about 19 years old. I did mention him on a previous video. As well, but yeah, he'd be brilliant hopefully Van Dijk can convince him to join Liverpool in the summer, because him, Van Dijk alongside De Ligt or Gomez, they could both learn off him a lot, and that would be a really, really strong three centre-backs to choose from. Moving on, James Maddison from Leicester has been linked 14-1. I can see why. The position suits. We do need an attacking creative midfielder, but Maddison, obviously in his first season in the Premier League, has had a good season. Hasn't quite broken into that England squad yet, but is one for the future, but not quite Liverpool level, if I'm honest on that one. Next one is Maxi Gomez at Celta Vigo, as striker from Uruguay, 9-4. So yeah, they seem to think he's pretty on the Liverpool radar. Don't know much about him, if I'm honest, but 11 goals in 28 games does not fill me with amazement. So one to swerve, I think, on that one. Obviously, we do need a striker back up for Firmino, because Sturridge and Origi, which I'll come on to later, are not good enough. But I don't think Maxi Gomez is the one. Next ones are, again, attacking midfielders. Isco from Real Madrid is 5-1. Would happily take him. I think he'd cost a lot of money, and now Zidane's gone back into Madrid, I think he's going to get another bite at the cherry to stay and prove his worth at Madrid. So I can't see that one happening now with that managerial change. Paulo Dybala, 11-2. Again, attacking midfield, so that's kind of that number 10 role. Yeah, again, happily take him all day long. Fantastic player. Hasn't scored that many goals, but scores very good goals. But yeah, Juventus obviously now with Ronaldo really building something there, and I can't see him wanting to leave anytime soon. So again, can't see that one happening, to be honest. The next two are a bit left field. You've got Jack Grealish at Villa, Hudson-Odoi, obviously from Chelsea, both at 8-1. Grealish, he's okay. He's a good Championship player. He's not really teared it up. They're not look like they're going to get promoted. So I think one to leave for now. I think Spurs are more likely destination for him. Hudson-Odoi, obviously, he's similar to Sancho. He's breaking his way into the kind of England setup now. But again, I think he's probably going to be staying at Chelsea, if not moving on to somewhere. I think Bayern were linked in January. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be moving to Liverpool anytime soon or ever. Next two are interesting. Memphis Depay is 8-1 with Sky Bet. I'd happily take him. I think Man United might have a buyback option still. I'm not sure when that expires. But yeah, Memphis Depay is class. Again, if we've got a couple of Dutch players already. If he was to come as well with De Ligt, that would be the start of something special. He's a brilliant player. Has led Holland to the Nations League finals in the summer. So we'll see him a lot more as they play England in the semi-finals in June. So that would be interesting. But yeah, I would happily have him. He's done a great job for Lyon as well this season in Ligue 1. Rafa Varane is linked 7-1. Has mentioned and made some grumbles that he's not happy at Madrid, but we've all seen that before, where they just kind of push that move to get that new contract that they desire. Not sure Varane's going to be leaving Real Madrid with Zidane in charge, his fellow Frenchman, where he's had so much success. So yeah, that's not going to happen in my opinion. Last few, then we've got Ryan Sessegnon from Fulham at 10-1. Can see why he's linked. Backup left back would be good, but yeah, he's not exactly shone since his move up the league from the Championship to the Premier League with Fulham. I don't think he's quite ready for Liverpool. Coutinho, 12-1. Interesting one. Obviously, he's not really lived up to expectations following that massive move to Barcelona in January of last year. I think they're going to give him another season at least to prove his worth, bearing in mind they spent all that money on him. Obviously, PSG, Man United have also been linked with him. Hopefully, if he was to leave, our Brazilians, Alisson, Fabinho and Firmino could convince him to rejoin the Reds ahead of the rivals. A lot of people say Liverpool have improved and are better without Coutinho. I find that crazy. All right, Liverpool have maintained and done well without him, but don't tell me that we wouldn't be a better team with him in that squad. He's proved over the last 4 or 5 years that he can do it in the Premier League, bearing in mind his small stature. But yeah, he's a proven Premier League Liverpool player, and I'll take him back in a heartbeat. So he would be a great signing, but maybe not quite yet. Last three then, we got Ryan Fraser at Bournemouth at 4-1. Short odds, but that Scottish link with Robertson down that left-hand side. But yeah, I don't think he's anywhere near Liverpool quality. So that one's a no. Last two are very, very promising yeses. So we got Nabil Fekir at 7-2. Obviously, so close to happening last summer. Was really kind of upset when that didn't go through for whatever reason. If we were to sign him, maybe Memphis Depay could follow as well. That'd be a cracking double signing from Lyon. But yeah, I would hope Fekir could join, or someone in that ilk, some kind of attacking midfielder, because our midfield three, no matter who we play, are all very workmanlike style. Not much creativity in there from that midfield three. So yeah, someone like Fekir, Coutinho, Isco would be great. The last one, Ruben Neves, is kind of the opposite of that. He's a kind of a defensive holding midfielder, a goal scoring one though, and someone that has made that jump up from the Championship to the Premier League with ease. Wolves sitting in 7th for most of the season, dropped off a bit recently with that race to 7th with the likes of Leicester, Everton and Watford. But yeah, I think they're going to have a strong end to the season, and Ruben Neves has been class. 22 years old. I think he's got a fantastic future ahead of him, and I would take him as well. Definitely this summer. If you think Milner was going to be moving on at the end of the next season, yeah, I would love to have Neves join Liverpool for sure. Just quickly on the outs, nearly done with the video now. Sadio Mane has been linked to Real Madrid. He's 8-1 to move on with Sky Bet. I can see why. He's had a great season. Zidane's looking to rebuild. I think, as you say, he's only really agreed to rejoin them if he gets his way, which is clearly to sign replacement for Ronaldo, possibly Bale on his way out as well. So Mane, yeah, obviously he's very, very good for Liverpool. I think Liverpool are very, very good for him. I don't think he's ready to make that leap yet to Real Madrid. I think their sights are very much fixed on the likes of Hazard and Mbappe. So I don't think Mane to Madrid is going to happen. Just a quick run through of people I think probably could be on their way out of Anfield this summer. Starting goal, Simon Mignolet. Obviously, he's been at Liverpool quite a while now. He's kind of always been in and out the team since Karius come in as well. But I think, realistically, a player of his age is not going to want to sit on the bench for the remainder of his career, which is what's going to happen with Alisson at the club. He needs to move on. Lovren and Matip I've mentioned. If we were to sign someone like De Ligt, I would move both of them on together. Either of them aren't going to look out of place in a lower Premier League mid-table team, or possibly, obviously, both maybe moving abroad. Alberto Moreno, obviously, even when we've had left-back issues, Milner is deputised because Moreno is clearly not trusted by Klopp, and for good reason. He's shocking. Started off so well. I think he scored a fantastic goal on his debut, or one of his first games away to Spurs. But yeah, he's just really not kicked on at all since his move from Sevilla, and he's really a liability every time he plays. I think he's featured against Wolves and a couple of teams in the Cups, but yeah, has been really found out and is way, way off the pace in this league, and needs to move back to Spain, really, and find some form again. I think linked with Barcelona, I will be amazed if that happens. Absolutely jaw-dropping if he goes to there. But yeah, I can't see him playing for Liverpool again, really. Obviously, I've mentioned Milner, probably going to have one more season with us and move on at the end of next season. Adam Lallana, another one. I think probably would have moved on this summer that's gone if Chamberlain hadn't got that injury. Even so, his playing time has been limited. Obviously, he's another one that's always getting injuries, never getting a run in the team. And even when he's fully fit and firing, I think he's probably 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th choice to come into that side. So yeah, I think he's going to be moving on, possibly back to Southampton. Would be a good idea. Xherdan Shaqiri, the curious case of Xherdan. Started the season amazingly well, 13 million, everyone was happy, bargain. Obviously had that great game against United as well. But yeah, since the turn of the year, really, has not featured at all, barely even coming on as a sub. Obviously, when we do need a goal, the likes of Sturridge and Origi seem to come on instead, ahead of him. I'm not sure what's happened, if it's effort in training, injuries, or just a fallout with Klopp. But yeah, either play him or sell him, move him on, because there's no point having someone in the squad if he's not going to play. So yeah, I think he's probably either going to be moving on in the summer or hopefully going to start to feature a bit more at the start of next season. Just the last two, then I've just quickly mentioned them. Sturridge and Origi, both need to move on. Both aren't Liverpool quality. Origi's slightly better than Sturridge, but yeah, neither of them can hit a barn door. They can't finish their dinner. They need to move. They are not really going to take Liverpool anywhere, and aren't sufficient backup when the likes of Mane, Firmino and Salah come off the pitch for them. We really don't look a threat anymore. So, yeah, that's the kind of people I would move on. Obviously, two people I would quite like to see come in instead of those two, as we would need a backup striker, would probably be either Mauro Icardi, who has been obviously stripped of the captaincy at Inter Milan and is strongly linked to leave the club in the summer. Real Madrid, I think, have been linked as well. Not sure if he's going to be going there, but I think he would be a fantastic signing for Liverpool. I'd really like to see him join the club and either sort of switch with Firmino, or possibly let Firmino drop into that number 10 role and have Icardi just in front of him would be fantastic. If we was to play for maybe Fabinho and Wijnaldum just behind, that would be fantastic. Just to finish off, just a quick note on the stadium. Obviously, Tottenham moving in and playing recently in their new stadium, which I am honestly jealous of. It is incredible. That light show at the Champions League match against Man City was, superb. Obviously, we've improved one stand a couple of seasons ago. After that decision to redevelop Anfield rather than move away to Stanley Park, which is fair enough, but I think we really need to get on it, to be honest. That new stand's fantastic, but the other three are not. Obviously, the COP is now way behind in terms of single tier size. I think Tottenham now hold the biggest the biggest single tier stand in world football with their new one. But yeah, I think the COP needs to at least rival that and needs to be redeveloped very, very soon. Anfield Road End as well, has seen better days. I would hope redeveloping those two would get us up to about 68,000, something like that, capacity. And obviously the Kenny Dalglish stand opposite that new stand needs probably to be matching the size as well. So I would like to see us touch 75,000 and start to redevelop at least one of the stands at the end of this season, if not the end of next season, because Liverpool can sell out their stadium 2 or 3 times a game, which is is losing money, and it's not really fair on the fans that pay memberships and getting these online queues and can't get through before they're sold out. So yeah, I'd like to see Liverpool, if they're not going to redevelop build a new stadium, at least crack on with the redevelopment of Anfield ASAP. But yeah, that's it from me. I'll be posting another video probably on the back of the Champions League results next week. And obviously, as we get closer to that title running, with the last few games to go, to see just how close we go to winning that league. So yeah, catch you soon. Cheers.